Welcome to Speedy Walkthroughs, where we show just the important stuff for beating the game. For first time viewers, this will look different to a normal walkthrough. It shows just the essentials so you don't need to spend a long time watching this video. Today we're playing the Simpsons game, and I'll be showing you how to get 100% completion, which is collecting all the characters' special tokens and also all the cliches, and it'll give you 100% on the total screen. Before we get stuck into it, if you find this video useful, consider subscribing to keep up to date. It helps out the channel a whole bunch, and I have a new walkthrough out each week. One thing to mention right off the bat is that this is a walkthrough for the DS version of the game. The console versions play quite differently to this, but the DS version is a pretty fun version of the game. We're going to be going through the level to start with, and you can see Homer collecting Duff beer tokens. That's essentially going to be our 100% collectible item for this level. Now, unfortunately, there is a bit of backtracking in this game, so we're not going to be able to get all those tokens in our first visit, but I will be showing you how to get as many as possible here. So we will be able to double jump off, and that's going to be one of the cliches, so make sure that you do that, and I'm sure you will at some point playing through the game. I'm also going to intentionally fall into the water to get another cliche for 100%ing. We'll go up to the right here and climb up the ladder, and then continue out to the left. Now that's an example of stuff that we can't get quite yet for 100%, that little bubbly thing we don't have quite unlocked yet. Basically, we're going to take out the rabbit there, and we'll fall through in bull form. You can do a little dash attack there. We're going to get one token there. We'll go back just to charge up a little bit of speed for the next token there. And then there's another one. And moving on, there's just one more towards the exit. Try and get those tokens if you can on your way out, because otherwise you'll have to come back into that room when we revisit the level. Now after the levels, you're going to get a total screen like this. Do try and keep the same total numbers that I'm getting, and that way you'll know you're on track for 100%. And we'll be coming back to this level later to get those other 4 beer caps. Also with the cliches, we'll only hit 27 by the end of the game. It's not like there's 27 in each level, that's like a running total. But with the token collectible things, that is the total for the level, so try and get 100% of those if you can. Alright, next up we have a Homer and Bart level, and you can pretty much swap between the two characters whenever you want to. We will be able to get all of Bart's tokens in this level, but Homer's we're going to have to leave and come back to some of them. For example, those two just up there. We hit a few cliches on the way through, and we're just going to climb up that ladder as Homer. Try and jump over guards if you can, or you can try and take them on directly. You want to jump up onto this little statue here and make our way across to the right. You can also glide with the cape there. Sometimes it's a little bit weird. Letting go of the D-pad makes your glide go a bit faster. It's a bit context dependent though, so mess around with that and try and get used to the physics. We'll keep going through as Homer here. And just keep in mind that you can only collect the character's tokens with the actual character they correspond to. So if you go past a token, you're most likely going to have to remember it and come back to it with that corresponding character. Bart also collects slingshot upgrades, so you can always fire your slingshot, but having the 10 in the bottom right corner there makes it a bit more powerful. Alright, climbing up here, we've got to hit that target and head straight in. Moving on, we got a couple tokens to collect down here, and we're just going to head back up. A little switch there to hit as Homer, and then we can fly up as Bart. Now make sure you come back to the left here as Bart, because there is another token for Bart to collect just up there. And then we can head back towards the end of the level. Alright, coming up here, we sort of got our first little mini boss fight there. If you've still got the slingshot power up, that could help. Just hit those targets there and try and be hitting the bullies as much as you can. Now if you run out of slingshot power-ups, don't worry too much. You can still fire it, it's just a little bit weaker. And with Bart, you've just got to hit these targets and make our way through the door. And then you've just got to hit whatever target Kearney's behind. Getting into this little last section here, we want to make our way up and ride the little planet things up towards the top. A couple tokens in here to grab, like that one there. And hopefully you got the slingshot power up because that makes this fight a lot easier. And there we go. Now these should be your totals at the end of that level. We can't get all the beer caps, but we can get all of Bart's tokens. Right, now Homer has an ability where he can sort of fill up and go big. Just be aware that that is limited. It's got the little gauge with the green meter. So try not to overuse it if you can, because you might want to save it for bits where it's really, really needed. Might climb up like so, hitting the corresponding switches. Make sure you get that token on the left as Bart. That one can be kind of easy to miss. Alright, get a short little cutscene and then we can move on forward as Bart here. Alright, fly across to that steam vent we just opened up there. And you've got to hit all those little pinata things as Bart. Now it's important to get the token off to the right before you hit all the pinatas, just because then you can actually get it as Bart before you go to Homer. Some enemies will drop food, and we need a bit of food to get through this taco thing here. So just make sure you have enough for that. Here, step on the switch and we'll become Bart again. This will get you the trampolines cliche as well. Now we'll make our way up to the same section as Homer to hit the button. Now with those caps, you basically want to be Bull Homer and make your way through those. Right, moving on, we can sort of glide through past that. If you're having trouble making that glide, I think you can come back and get that token a bit later. Or you can just sort of let go of the D-pad to get a slightly faster glide, even though that's kind of counterintuitive. Alright, a couple tokens to grab here and we'll pull the switch. Homer can then make his way through there. Alright, let Bart come up through here, grabbing some tokens. And there's one there that's pretty easy to miss. I'm also going to fall down the pit, because that's another cliche to get, and it conveniently warps us back to the right hand side of the level, so a bit of two birds with one stone there. Once I've done that, just climbing back up this same climb and we'll hit the switch there. Bring it down for Homer and then we'll be Homer. Alright, there's another token to grab there that we couldn't have got before. Same thing I'm going to do there, I'll fall into the pit and that's purely just to warp Homer back. I've also got the combo punch cliche. Now if your cliche numbers don't fully match mine, then you probably have just got one earlier than I did, like the combo punch for example. Alright, Homer has a token up there. And we got to take a few shots into the statue to take it down. So this is a really annoying one because you need quite a lot of food, like a lot of power to do it. Those are the counts for this level, so we should have been able to 100% it as Homer and Bart, meaning we won't need to come back to this level again. Alright, next up we have the logging factory. Now this is where Lisa unlocks like an ability of moving those tree logs. One thing to mention is that you can actually use the D-pad to move the camera around. It took me a little while to figure that out first time playing this, but it helps a lot because that way you're not bound to what's actually on the screen. Alright, hit that switch and then we can become Bart. Try and do the tree logs in the same orientation that I'm doing them, and then you should be able to make it across. And we'll let Lisa through there. Got another cliche there. And then we'll make our way up through that. Alright, going across these conveyor belts. And we'll just grab the tokens on the way through. So with this one here, we need to hit that switch to get the platform moving. And then try and jump up over that guy. Now you can see a token up there with Bart. We won't be able to grab that token quite yet, so we will need a revisit to this level. So you got another cliche there. Alright, got another log puzzle here, so just move the logs like so. And this one can come all the way across there, using the D-pad to move the camera around with that one. And there's another token to grab there. That one's kind of easy to miss. You release those logs, which weirdly enough are like a lot louder than everything else in the game. And they basically just play Frogger and get across here. So you got to get Lisa's tokens there. So try and end the Frogger where I've been ending the Frogger here. And there's a Bart token on the right there. Alright, got a few targets to hit in this room. Then we'll pull the switch and head across. You got to close those little doors and then we're done. Now we haven't been able to 100% it. Those are the totals you want on this level though. Alright, for the next level we control Marge, and she's got a crowd control rallying ability thing. So you can use that to let these guys take down the barriers and everything like that. So the barriers will indicate like what number they need, and you can just get that number of people. So you want those two to build a ladder, and then Lisa can sort of move the dumpster out of the way, and then you'll get enough people to break down this barrier. They can move on to the next section. So now we're really going to be combining Lisa and Marge's ability. So Lisa to move stuff out of the way, Marge to get stuff in there. You can also send Maggie through vents like that as Marge. So just keep that in mind as you're going through these. Get the battery in and then we can ride down that platform as Marge. Lisa's got a token to grab before moving that dumpster out of the way. And then we'll move on. So sometimes your people can get stuck, so just keep that in mind as you're going through. Usually you can just go back and unstick them if you need to. Little token to the left there, so be sure to grab that on your way through. You need 3 to bring that one down. And then we'll move the cars like so. And you can make it through. Alright, this area is pretty open, so what you want to do first is get those guys to make a ladder. Move the cars in this fashion here. There's a little token down there to grab as Marge. And a token up there to grab. Lisa can move that thing into the little bit there to allow Marge to come up and send Maggie through the vent again. Once you've done that, the level's pretty much done. Now that was a level you could 100%, so you should have these collectibles at this point. Next you unlock sort of the Halloween episode, so you want to go into Frank's house first here. Frank puts you into like a video game sort of level. Right, we've got the grappling hook as well now, so we can actually use that as Bart. And you might notice that we can actually go back and get some of the things we couldn't get before with the grappling hook. So you got a wooden crate cliche to get there. Move the platforms up like so, and we can make our way across. Now Lisa can actually move herself up now, so that's like a new little ability that Lisa's got too. So make your way through here. On the amps you want to turn the volume knobs up. And here we can move Lisa up again. Move those things to make platforms to allow yourself up. And we can sort of make our way across. You can bring the crate up here with you with Lisa, and then we can jump across to get that last token. Just change the platforms a little bit, grab the last token and head through. Here you want to just pull that lever and turn the little handle thing there. With the grappling hook, go up and across these little pulls, and then you want to grapple up to that token there on your way back. Go across as Lisa. There's a very out of the way token to get there. I just jumped into the pool to walk back. It was a bit quicker than walking back. Bart can fly across there and go across this platform. Lisa can move herself up. And there we go. Move yourself up again. And then you can ride across this platform here. Once you've done that, just dodge those things and go through. And got EA advertising their own game in their own game. You basically want to move these things, and you can actually use them to knock these guys off, which is pretty convenient. But you move those things, and once you've sort of like moved all of them off, Donkey Kong will fall down. Now that is one that you can 100%, so you should have these totals so far. Next we got this sort of dolphin game. You just got to grab the dolphins and shake them away. You actually get the Malibu Stacy thing just from doing that, so that's very nice. Now Homer's unlocked his helium ability thing. So you get that token there, and you're pretty much going to die if you try to get that token, but you'll still keep it, which is good. Use your helium ability all the way through here, and then basically you're going to have to die again there, so we'll keep progressing through. Now, if you sort of jump as you're hitting the helium, I think it's like a little bit before, you can actually get a very high boost off it, which is very helpful. Just going back to the end of Homer there, we should have been able to 100% his section. And going with that theme, backtracking is reduced quite a bit now in this point of the game because we got most of the abilities we're going to get. This is a Space Invaders clone, so just work your way through this. And then we've got a couple cutscenes to work our way through. Now at the end of this cutscene, you get your totals. Just make sure they say that. Should be 100%. And we're moving into this next level. Alright, so jumping on that platform, you get another cliche at the start of this level. Bart needs to hit the target there. And Homer can go up to the left to get that token. Now that level you can 100% as well, so your total should say that. Alright, moving on, we got this level with Homer and Marge. You basically just got to keep boosting into this little dragon thing, and you'll eventually deal enough damage. I think you have to knock it down 3 times. Now, I like to try and hit it when it is knocked down. So if you can sort of stop yourself and try and hit it, then that's good. Alright, into the checkpoint here. And Marge can sort of rally Homer into those little barriers. You'll eventually pick up more people to get the 3 barriers as well. When these things spawn, you can take out the spawners as well. That's a good idea. Now, some of these spawners do have Marge's tickets in them, so be sure to take down these spawners. And just pretty much take down everything, you'll know you've 100%ed it. And with that, the door's going to open and we'll make our way through the next section. Grab that key from over there, and then we can just head up through on the way out. Use Homer's helium ability here. Make sure you backtrack to the left to grab that extra token, and dip down there for that token. We'll swap to Marge who can make it across. And we just jump up those platforms. There's a token on top of this guy, and you can send Maggie in to do that. Another token behind there. And then we got sort of a boss fight thing. Now, jump up and hit the wall on the left, and you'll get a cliche. That one's really important to get. It's the invisible barrier cliche. Alright, take care of that dragon, and then we're done. Alright, we can 100% this one, so your total should look like that when we're done. Alright, helium will get us across there to the token. And basically just roll through all these enemies and you can take care of them pretty easily. Alright, at least it can pick herself up there. And then you got this little zappy ability that you can use on those guys. There's a token over there for Homer. Very easy to miss that token. And that'll open up that little section. So jump up there as Homer. Now with this one, do use the same commands that I'm doing. That's sort of the easiest way to get through the fight. And there we go. So yeah, usually you can get through those fights just by like hitting random stuff, but sometimes you can't. So I would just follow the moves that I'm clicking there. Alright, pull Lisa up there and we're going to head across. Got another fight here, so use the same move sequence that I'm using here. And we got our next little section. Drop those rainbows down and we'll head across as Lisa. And we get a nice cliche for coming into this. Now, one of those sumos does have one of Lisa's tokens in it, so be sure to take care of that guy. Now we got another fight here. So again, same moves in the same order for this one. And there we go. Now that was one that we can 100%, so you should have these totals on the screen. Alright, coming into this level. Game takes a pretty big step up in difficulty here. Just fly through with Bart, grabbing all those, and then hit the switch. Make sure you got all the Barts before you turn to Homer, otherwise you'll be locked out of those tokens. Grab Homer's, and then you want to hit the buttons in that order. So that's grey, blue, yellow, red, and green. Alright, come up here as Bart. And we'll work our way back down. Now make sure you go up there and get that token with Homer. Pretty easy to miss that one. Then we'll go up as Bart through all this section. Right, you'll hit Bart's switch there. And we'll make our way up with Homer. You can mostly heal him up with Homer, just make sure you're grabbing the tokens on the way. And make sure you get the token past the door before you hit the switch as Homer, very important. Alright, you've got this sort of boss fight here, and you basically just got to go to each of the doors, which might have something coming out of them. You'll get the crossover cliche, because the Futurama characters are there. So yeah, basically you got to go to each of the doors to hit that. And once you've done that, you'll finish the level. Now you can 100% that level, so this is what your total should look like now. Alright, we're coming back to the logging factory because we got a few extra backtracking things to clean up. Now that we've got the abilities, we can make it through here. So you come across this bar, get a grappling hook there with a token on it. And then in this little room here, we've got another token to grab. So make your way through across as per normal. And once you buy it, you can head back here and grab this one. And then you can actually see exit level. You don't need to complete the level. You'll have all the tokens like that. Now with Homer, we want to go back to the land of chocolate. Make our way back to this little section here. And we can use the helium there. Now, if you didn't get all the tokens on the slide before, then you will have to go and get those. Now, with Homer here, you want to use the helium to get those couple. And we want to actually go into the androids dungeon and pretty much unlock everything. This will be part of 100%ing the game, going and unlocking all that stuff. Now, there's a few things we can't get yet, but we'll just head into that last level and then we should be all good. Alright, so we start off as Marge. You can send Maggie through there to open up the gate. Then you got lots of Homers to help you out. Go up there to get the token, send Maggie down. Now we've got another token to grab down there as Marge. We've got the land of chocolate sort of revisited. So just jumping up here, there's a token behind Mo there, make sure you don't miss that one. You got Lisa's level, which is a cool little Tetris thing. Now, actually knowing where to put the blocks can be quite counterintuitive, so try and put them in the same spot where I put them. That one goes up there, for example. Remember, you've also got that ability to take care of enemies with that hand upgrade, so that can be very useful for you. Hit the switches in that order like that, and then move the blocks like so. Alright, now that's the tricky bit, knowing where to put those blocks. You should be able to get the token up there just by lifting yourself up. And you get another cliche here. Now you got this sort of Ben Franklin fight thing where you got to block the lightning. And with Bart, you've got to hit the kite. So rinse and repeat. And try and hit the kite into the lightning cloud if you can. After you've done that for a little while, the boss fight will finish up and we can head to the next room. Bart has a couple tokens to grab here. And one more on the right there, make sure you don't miss that. And we'll just keep climbing up. There's a couple grappling hooks that should help you. And then we get into this sort of last section of the game here. Alright, so this is essentially like the final boss fight here. There's a token up on the right and that left there, and you should get the cliche for every collectible if you've done it right. It basically is keep going and hitting the target for that DS stylus there. Once you've done that a couple of times, you're pretty much done. And there we go. Now, if you followed along to this point, you should hopefully have this stuff on the total screen, and that will be 100% of the game. You can go into Android's dungeon and sort of check out everything that you got there, and all the cliches. And then if you go load game, you can see that it does say 100% complete. Alrighty, that's going to be all for this video, and thanks so much for watching.